There he is. All right, everybody. Well, I am excited to have a buddy of mine that I've known for about a decade. And this guy, don't let it look at that by the hair. You know, there might be snow on the peak, but there's a fire in the furnace for really doing a lot of great stuff out there. This guy has done an amazing job of taking his 40 plus years of real estate experience and combining it into one spot for everybody out there, whether you're new or seasoned real estate investor. This is one name or 20 minutes that you don't want to miss out on, because it'll stop you from having to go out and hunt and peck, find vendors, find servicers, find everything. You can find all in one stop, one bag for all your needs. So what's going on, Mr. Dickie Baldwin? How's it going tonight?
Good evening, everybody. It's the interesting group.
Blessed to have an interesting group is what I always look at. People all across the country doing amazing things.
So, I'll tell you what, Scott, you and I would be nowhere without networking.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Exactly. And you've done such an amazing job. Dickie, why don't you share a little bit about your background and how you kind of decided to make create Bag, and we'll go from there, huh?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Pleasure to be here with you. Dickie Baldwin. I'm located in Montgomery, Conroe, Texas, which is just north of Houston. Been in the industry about 40 years. Retired in 2018, but in those 40 years, I've been a realtor. I've been a loan originator. I did wholesale lending, correspondent lending, warehouse lending, set up multiple net branch mortgage operations for people around the country. Been in the title industry, been an investor. And as I said, after 40 years, I retired because I had turned 70. And in fact,
you don't look a day over 40, bud.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, by the way.
I could have come back with something.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. And in fact, it was about this time in 2018 when I was with Scott in Dallas at one of his masterminds. And I actually kicked Bag off and presented the idea to the large group that we had. I can't remember what hotel we were at in Dallas, but the whole concept of Bag started right there. And since that time, I went live with the website in 2019. And I think Scott's got bingo. There's the website right there. And it goes by Baldwin Advisory Group, and slogan, one bag for all your real estate services. And so what was the realization or the concept, you might say, of a Bag? Through my years in the industry, I realized in the beginning that investors, especially new investors, just didn't know where to go to get something done. And fortunately, I've met a couple of people over the last 40 years and built a Rolodex, Scott. Drum roll for Rolodex.
Amen to that, buddy. Amen to that.
And I just realized that the new investor just, as I said, didn't know where to go. If they need to do a BPO or a broker price opinion, or if they need a title search, or if they need a realtor, or if they need an attorney, or if they are in the note industry and they need collateral review, and they need help with assignments and recordings, or title curative, or they want to open up a LLC, or if they need a servicer, the list goes on. And so what I did, I went to the vendors that I have known and worked with throughout the years, gave them my idea. And let's take, for instance, a BPO. Now, I'm sure most of the people in the group, Scott, know what a broker price opinion is. It's where a realtor will go out and take pictures of the property, determine a value by utilizing the MLS and comps and listings. Well, a typical investor may do 5 to 10 BPOs and title searches a year. Well, I went to the vendors to be the client, and by going through BAG, and I call it strength in numbers, where you may do, as I said, 5 to 10 a year, BAG literally does hundreds every month. What advantage is that to you? Well, for the newer investor, most vendors don't want to deal with the one-off individual. They want the places that are doing a couple of hundred deals a month. And I understand that. It's the nature of the business. So why not let's all take advantage of it? So the more volume that I'm able to do with my BPO and title search vendors, the better. What I am on one of those that need 5 to 10 BPOs a day. Come on. So as the company grew, it was not only the brand new investors that were utilizing all of the different services, and in a minute I'll ask Scott to go down through the website, but it just grew and grew and grew to where now I'm also working with hedge funds and banks that are sending me 50, 60 to 100 deals at a time to do their broker price opinions and or their title searches. Comment, Scott?
Nope, all good. Jill just says, Jill Dewitt, she's like, I'm one of those people that needs 5 to 10 a day.
Okay. So going through the website, it's very easily laid out. If you need a BPO or a title search, you can either go to the order form that is on the website, and there's a full explanation of what a BPO is. You can complete this form with your company information, the property information. If you want a BPO, do you want an exterior BPO? Do you want an interior? Or do you want a full appraisal? And earlier tonight, a lot of your guests were talking commercial. I can do not only residential in all these areas, but I can also do commercial. And I'm really starting to do an awful lot of commercial full appraisals right now. And then there's also a thing called a property inspection report. And I really wanted to let everybody know about a property inspection report. It's a little bit different than a BPO because what we do is go out and take pictures of the subject and answer a few questions, such as, is the house comparable to the neighborhood? Is there any existing or visible exterior damage? Does it appear to be vacant or occupied? Well, I was with my vendor today, and many of you may have properties in Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, where Ida went through. I can now do a disaster inspection report where they will go out and take live pictures of your property. If you're in California and you have this property in Alabama, we can take a picture of it, answer all these questions about the disaster level, and get back to you in some instances within a day. Both locally as well as rural, because the vendor has just really expanded their base of agents around the country that can take these photos and answer these questions for you. So I really want the network to really think about, if you do have any properties within that corridor where the storm went and you want to see live pictures of it, then please let me know and we can take care of that. Uh, Title searches, once again, there's an order form. Simply clicking to where we take the information, the property, you let me know if you want a current owner search or a full search or a 30-year search. If you're doing a commercial search, I'm in, and I believe in affiliates. And let me really make this point. BAG is a network for vendors. Now, except for the BPOs and the title searches where I am considered the client with those vendors, JD is a vendor, JD Bates is a vendor of a BAG. And what I do is all of the other services that you'll see listed all through the website, property preservation, the lenders, an RMLO, a full title company, title curative work, assignments and recordings, storage, servicing, self-directed IRAs, tax attorneys, nationwide realtor network, attorney network, skip tracing. We're in the process of finishing up the new website where we can also create an LLC. We can do credit repair. All these vendors that I've just mentioned off, what I've done is go to them and say, I don't want to be on your 401k plan. I don't want to be part of your major medical and dental. All I want to do is be able to bring you people that chances you never, ever would have heard of. Because when you need one of those services, other than the BPO and the title search, I put you directly in touch with whoever that vendor happens to be. You're able to deal with them one-on-one. And when the job is done, you pay that vendor. You don't pay me. One of the other services, and we went through it, that I'm really, really proud of, and Scott has utilized it before, is the investor-friendly realtor network. That's where the agents, and there's a little over 100 agents in the network right now. And I call them investor friendly because they not only can list, sell, and property manage for you. If you're in California and the property's in Alabama, they can help you, as I said, list, sell, and property manage, but they can also change your door locks. They can clean that empty house out. They can winterize it. They can cut the grass. They can even rehab it. So the goal is, and as this network grows, hopefully there's going to be some realtors in here that want to get into investing that could be part of the BAG network. So all you have to do is contact me and I put you directly in touch with that realtor. So you don't have to go through the internet and go through a couple of hundred realtors to find somebody to work with. So basically, this is the whole concept of what BAG is. As I said, we kicked this off in Dallas in 2018. We went live in 2019, and we're pushing right at 5,000 individual orders throughout and that's just BPOs and title searches. That's not counting the hundreds of referrals that BAG does to the different vendors in the network. That's about it, bud.
5,000 orders. That's freaking awesome there for you. Great to see you. Definitely Jill will be in touch there for you. But yeah, I got 5,000 BPO and title. Now you're also doing a couple big things with we were talking earlier about. You've got some big BPOs or title reports you're doing for a couple banks and some tapes or some tapes of assets, aren't you right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working on several large pools right now with the BPOs and the title searches. And one of the other things that I'm really excited about, right there where you see the two hands clasping the REO in notes. If you'll open up that, Scott, what I do with this is ask everybody to go in and register. And I might mention there is no cost to be utilizing the BAG network.
Yep.
This little form is, you give me your company information. You let me know if you're a buyer or a seller. If you want a note, for instance, you check off performing, non-performing, contract for deed, residential, commercial, if you're bulk or individual, and then what states do you want to invest in? So for instance, if you are a buyer and you want a non-performing note and you want it to be in the state of Idaho, and one of the multiple sellers that work with BAG has a note in Idaho they want to sell, I simply put you directly with that seller. I don't get in the middle of pricing, tell you what color house it is, any of that, because I want you to be dealing directly with the seller.
Now you do that too with all the other vendors that are on there, except for the BPO and the title work, because that's your bulk discount stuff. And then the cost
Correct.
for all the stuff is not anymore. There's not a fee on top of what they would normally be paying for to pull their own title or OD. You basically are the Sam's passing the discount out to the Walmarters out there for the most part.
Correct. Because if you have an individual note, I'm basically at a bulk price because I do so much volume with those two entities.
Yeah. And then you've got an affiliate relationship with the other vendors that they pay you back, but it's not an additional aspect of anything out there for
Correct.
us. So you either put people together or you manage it, especially on the BPO and the title searches. You're actually managing that and helping people with that on a step-by-step basis, external BPO, external appraisal too. You want to hear if something's taking long. That's why you're so active with that. Correct, Dickie?
Absolute. Because if I tell somebody that it's a 3 to 5 day turnaround and I'm hitting the 8th day, I'm all over that vendor.
Yeah, you're fuming at that point. You're not just all over it. You're fuming.
Unfortunately, that doesn't happen.
Exactly. It doesn't happen. So I'll tell you this. I love them. You, like you said, 5,000 orders. I know 99.9% of our students in our past, stuff like that, use you not only for the note side, but for the real estate side, the services, because we're all pulling BPOs. And he's like, Jill was mentioned, she's doing land and pulling BPOs and stuff
Correct.
like that on a daily basis. So, and you do the residential commercial stuff.
Correct.
Out there for you.
And you can use one of the services or you can use a multiple of the services.
Yeah. And there's no cost to join it and use it besides your normal cost to do. There's no membership fee. There's no monthly aspect of that, guys and gals. This is, no. I mean, that's what's so beautiful about what we love with you is that you're just connecting people, man.
Well, and one of the other things that has really taken off, and a lot of folks need this, is door knocking. Yes. Because of COVID and so much going on, we typically do not have the vendors that I do this with. These are trained individuals that will actually go up to the door, as compared to an agent that typically will not step foot on a property because they don't want to get shot. But these we call them door knockers. If you need documents delivered, we can, if you want to do an introduction to the occupant or show them that you actually own the property or whatever it happens to be, I can do a 1 visit or a 3 visit. And the reason for the 3 visit is if you really want to try and get a hold of the occupant, they're not there the first time, they'll come back a second time, not there a second time, they'll come back a third time, and then leave a sealed envelope on the door with whatever documents you give me in the form of a PDF.
That's a beautiful thing, especially with eviction notices, people in real estate across the country or deliver. I mean, door knocking is one of the things just to see people if it's occupied. If you're not a state investor, in a lot of cases, somebody lived there and moved on. That's a huge thing. We
Correct.
use it on a regular
Or
basis.
if it was supposed to have been vacant and there's squatters in there. I mean, these are the kind of things that you need to know. That's why one bag for all your real estate services.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. Questions for Dickie, everybody. For those out there, if you've used Dickie before, give a shout out there for it. And some people have, like I have, and Catherine has had done your the values for those two Florida assets. You're doing this, and you've got vendors basically in all states. Is that correct?
Yes, nationwide.
Yeah.
Even doing some stuff in Hawaii.
Well, that's a state there, you know.
Well, how about Puerto Rico?
Well, you doing something in Puerto Rico?
Yes, limited because it's a tough place.
Yeah.
But with the right information, we can do title work as well as some valuations.
Yeah, exactly. No, the Puerto Rico can be a mess.
Yes,
there for stuff there, definitely, because the way that it's all set up, and then of course the mountains and the cities and stuff like that too for you. I wouldn't say they're going to get shot at there doing a door knocking or have somebody out there, but I have been shot at before in a couple of rougher areas, but that's not the norm for the most.
That's true.
That's true. Now in Texas, we can all just carry. You know what I mean?
That's legal now.
It's legal now, exactly. So Catherine says Dickie is a rock star. Exactly for you. So
thank you, Catherine.
Appreciate it. Guys, questions, comments, concerns. Some of you guys are in Indiana talking about that. John, we mentioned that. People are in LA. People are investing in Ohio, Michigan, Florida, Arizona, Washington State. Dickie can do it all for you there for you. Perfect, Dickie. Yeah, you dropped your website URL. You always encourage people to pick up the phone and give you a phone call as well, right, Dickie?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, that's good stuff there, Dickie. Thank you for coming on the USREI network tonight and sharing and being such a valuable resource.
I'm really excited about being part of this group. We all need team members and building a team, and that's what BAG is all about, is being part of your team.
Exactly. Adding that person where you can pick up the phone call. And Dickie's one of those guys, ladies and gentlemen. I know people can pick up the phone, call him. Hey, or to call him, I was like, I don't know, call Dickie. Dickie probably's got somebody there that we can reach out to if I don't know somebody. So go do that. And that's why Baldwin Advisory Group is one of the trusted vendors here for the USREI network across the country for you, ladies and gentlemen. So Dickie, thank you so much. Celebration. What's on tap for the celebration, man?
I don't know. What are you going to give me?
I figured I'd send you some scotch. Yeah, some single malt there for you. There we go for you. Good stuff there. Well, thanks, Dickie. Appreciate coming on, man.
Guys, everybody have a great evening.
Will do.